Okay, so yeah, I'm the president of the Prairie States Mushroom Club. I've only been president for 2 years, but I've been on the board for 5, and it has been an amazing experience learning about all of the fungal diversity in Iowa, and I'm absolutely obsessed. And I'm hoping that after today, especially after knowing what kinds of fungi you can find in Iowa, which a lot of people don't realize, that you will also be obsessed. So our website is iowamushroom.org, and this is your one-stop shop for all the Prairie States Mushroom Club stuff. We have a lot of resources. You can sign up to be a member. Membership gets you event reminders and also sometimes exclusive events for members only. But I just really want to showcase our Iowa fungal biodiversity here today. So these are all my pictures, and they're all from Iowa, every single one of them, even that crazy red one up there. Okay, hold on a second. It never goes perfectly. Show me the pictures. Oh my gosh, why are you like this? Okay, well, I'm just going to talk while this loads. So there are so many amazing fungi in Iowa, and people have no clue what you're missing. And so people are like, oh yeah, like morels, right? And I'm like, morels are boring. They're brown, and you can't ever find them because people pick them before you get to them. So I'm really the worst at finding morels. But there's lots of different species. There's jelly fungi. There's these weird things that are called Silaria. What a crazy alien name. There's, blue fungi, blue lactarius, purple lacaria, cinnabar chanterelles, and these are all not too hard to find. The thing that you need is curiosity and to go out into the woods and look for them. However, you do not have to do this alone because the Prairie States Mushroom Club is here to help you. So in 2025, if anybody uses iNaturalist, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you don't, please look it up immediately. iNaturalist has almost 1,300 species of fungi observed on that website. And this is something that you can sort of use as a nature journal to track the species that you see. And it also offers identifications. So this has really been an important thing for me as I've been learning about fungi, is to help me identify things. And we're also here to help you identify mushrooms. So there's no reason to be scared of fungi because we're here for you. But that is an amazing amount of biodiversity. And the number just keeps growing year after year. In 2023, this was 1,000. It's gone up by 300. And we keep adding to it because we have a sequencing project. We do a lot of science for the Mushroom Club. And you can also join us and help us do science for the Mushroom Club. We have collected over 800 specimens for sequencing. And we've gotten a lot back. And actually, this one in the top left is called Chlorhiza hygrophoroides, and it's only been found about 13 times in the US. And I found it at one of Burr Oak's new properties that's just south of Ryerson's Woods. So we're making discoveries all the time. But we don't just do mushroom science, we also look for edible mushrooms as well. And that's what most people are into, and if that's all you're into, that's okay. I understand. But we're here to make sure that you are safe, and that when you find mushrooms that you think, man, that looks really tasty, you can ask us for identification help and help us help you learn how to identify mushrooms. It's a really fun pastime. It's also really fun to go do with your kids because they're like this tall and they can see all the mushrooms before you do. It's super fun. It's like an Easter egg hunt. So you can join us. Our dues are only $10 a year. It's super duper cheap. And like I said, this gets you on our email list. We'll tell you about upcoming events. We have a ridiculous amount of events this year. It's probably a record for us, about 30, a little over 30, almost 40 events this year. And we still have people asking for more. So we work with County Conservation and Burr Oak Land Trust and other nonprofits such as Film Scene. Actually, this is the first time we've done an arts event like this. So I really hope you enjoy it. And you can also volunteer for the Mushroom Club. We're always looking for volunteers. We are completely volunteer run. We are a nonprofit organization. And if you're interested in mushroom science or learning how to lead forays or even helping with our arts committee, which Amanda is the chair of, please talk to one of us. Send us an email and we would love to have you. And if you ever want to donate to the Mushroom Club, we would love to take your money. We have a donation portal on our website if you're interested in that. And yeah, and I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Art because he has a lot of awesome things to say about what he's been working on.
Thank you, Sarah. Good evening, everyone. Can't see any of you, but it's okay. You can see me. So, short story. Last year, around this time, Prairie States Mushroom Club was soliciting articles for the spring issue of their newsletter, Symbiosis. I wrote one about Fairfield's Toadstool Club of the 1920s, and it came out last April. In June, the Carnegie Museum, where I volunteered, was looking for articles for their newsletter, and I thought, with a little bit of editing, like for a non-mushroom-centric audience, you know, there are such things, I could use the same piece. So I did some revisions, mostly removing the Latin scientific names, and sent it to the museum's director, Jake Schmidt. And soon after that, Jake asked me a question. "Hey, Art," he said, "we got some display space opening up, and I was wondering if you wanted to do an exhibit." And I said, "Of what?" And he said, "Mushrooms." I was like, what? The idea had literally never occurred to me. Of course I said yes, but then I began to wonder exactly what I'd gotten into, because as one scholarly article put it, an interesting yet frustrating aspect of studying fungi is their apparent ephemeral nature. In other words, they rot. Well, most of them do. And there was no getting around it. Or was there? So I went to the experts, and Google taught me a new word, lyophilization, aka freeze drying. So that was the good news. There was a way to preserve specimens long term. The bad news was that entry-level freeze dryers started at $2,500. On July 5th, I talked to Sarah, and she said the displays at NAMA events, that's a North American Mycological Association, were pretty impressive, and maybe they'd have something to teach us. So I contacted them right away, emailed the COO, Brooke Reed. 4 days later, on July 9th, Brooke responded, bless him, and he said, yeah, freeze drying was the best way, the best results, if you could find one that was affordable. I've been looking. Or borrow one. I thought, oh, yeah, I live in a small city of under 10,000 without even a hardware store. So, but as it turns out, not just any small city. Because for that same day, I co-led a mushroom, whoops, okay. I co-led a kids foray. And after the face painting and the sing-alongs and the snacks and, oh yeah, the mushroom hunting, which the kids loved and were very good at, by the way, I said to the woman who was co-leading it, Donna Sousa, I said, Donna, I've got this problem. And I told her what was going on, and she said, no problem. The Fairfield Food Collective has 3 freeze dryers available for community use for free. And all you have to do is tell them that you want to use one. I was like, what? I'd never heard of the FFFC, but I called the number that Donna gave me. They confirmed all the above, and that's when my summer got really busy. The point being, all these things just fell into place and continued to do so. Fungarium, what I eventually called the exhibit, went from nothing to something very involved and demanding kind of, but also satisfying and networked and fun. And it was originally planned for a 3-month run at the Carnegie Museum. That turned into 4, which turned into 7. It's going to end soon in a week or 2. But right after that, on April 6th, it's traveling up to the Swiss Valley Nature Center in Dubuque County for a 2-month run through May. And how did that come about? Because Addie Schober, the naturalist up there, asked one of those questions again. She said, hey, is there any chance that it's going to become a traveling exhibit? And it was another thing I'd never thought of. And I answered coolly, sure, yeah, of course, why not? So in other words, Fungarium seems to take on a life of its own. And somewhere along the way, the phrase mycelial reach came to mind. It's not a thing officially, it just seemed an apt description of what I saw happening. Not literally, I don't think, but metaphorically, sure, as in growing outward from a single spore and extending to who knew where. I didn't. It was up to me, it seemed like all I had to do was say yes and try to hang on and keep up. So anyway, if you haven't had a chance to catch Fungarium, it'll be in Dubuque through May. Please be sure to visit our website. As Sarah said, we've got a lot of events planned this year. Maybe you can join us for some. But for now, it's time to sit back and let this wonderful film take us where it will. You've got your glasses, you've got your seats, I hope. We're going to have some Q&A afterwards, so if you can stick around, please do, and we'll see if we can answer your questions. And meanwhile, enjoy the movie, folks, and thank you so much for coming.